Hello everyone. So today I am going to share with you all my Infosys DSE role experience. So I gave my Infosys online assessment on 4th of January. So in my online assessment, if I tell you that I was able to solve one question completely, that is the first question. It was based on the tree, and in the second question, I was able to pass 9 test cases out of 12. So after giving the online assessment, I was waiting for my interview call whether I will receive it or not. So around 11 p.m., I received a mail from Infosys saying that congratulations, you have tomorrow your interview. So now since the time was less, I prepared as much as I could. I revised OOPS and some basic DSA questions. So and also from like 7 to 8 days before I was like practicing some questions of DSA for Infosys OA. Okay, so now comes the interview day, that is 5th of Jan. So on 5th of Jan, I had to go in Galgodia's University, Greater Noida. So the time was 9 a.m. So I went there. And one thing I want to say that in the mail, we don't know whether we are shortlisted for SP role or DSC role. But when we visit the university, then the teachers there who are scheduling our interview, they have a sheet. So on that sheet, they have names like for me, my name along with my role, and for everyone. So on the sheet, we come to know that what for what role we are selected. So for DSC role or SP. So let me tell you about the cutoff for many people who have solved one question completely and 5 to 6 test cases pass in the second question, they were getting called for DSE. And I have seen people who have only solved only one complex question, not anything else. They got call for specialist programmer L3. And for two questions who had solved, they received the call for specialist programmer L1. So cutoff was like that. For L2, there were no students there. For I received, I saw that at my center only there were students for the DSC role, specialist programmer L1 and L3 role. So I don't know about what was the criteria for L2 role. So I went there, and now we had to wait patiently. We had to wait patiently, and the according to the sheet, they were taking students to the interview room. There were many panels, like for DSC role there were panelists, and for specialist programmer role, so for every role there were different panelists based on the role. So after waiting patiently for around 3 hours, I got my turn, so I went there to give the interview. So the interviewer was good, he was polite. So when I went there, he first asked me, "Tell me about yourself." So I mentioned all the things. What is my name? From where I have graduated, my internship experience, and all. So after that, he asked me, "Do you know Java? Can you do DSC in Java?" I said, "Sir, I know basics of Java, but I have done my DSC mostly in C++. So I'm more comfortable with C++." So he said, "Okay, let's move ahead with the interview." So the first question he asked, so it was a coding question. I have written down so that I don't forget anything. Write the code for next greater element. Okay, so it was not the exact question, but just the same question in different words. So he asked, the logic was same for the next greater element. So okay, I wrote the logic. I explained him about my approach. I had watched the video for this question luckily only 2 days before for the next greater element. So luckily I was lucky here. So I explained him properly how I did and what. So he seemed satisfied, and after that he asked me many questions. Let me come to them one by one. If I forget something, forgive me. So then he asked me, "Do you know SQL?" I said, "Yes, sir. I know basics of SQL." So he said, "Okay, this is a little bit tricky question. Try to solve it. I said, okay, sir, give me the question. So he made a table like this where there was student name, subject, and marks. And for every student, there were marks given. Like for Rahul in English, he scored 78, and for Rahul in maths, he scored 85. So for every student, all five subjects marks were given. Okay. Similarly for Priya, similarly for Aman. So he said, give me the names of the students who passed in all the subjects. That is, in every subject, the student has scored more than 50. Okay, so its output will be Rahul and okay, so here everyone has scored more than 50. So let's make someone's marks less than 50, so that suppose he got only 40. So now Priya has got only 40 in maths, so her name will not be included in the answer. So for the answer, only Rahul and Amal will be the answer. So I wrote its SQL query using subqueries. Okay. Then the second question came forward. So he said, okay, in the same table, if I have a column for age, so do you see any problems here if there is a age column also? So I said yes, sir. If there's each column also, then there is redundancy in the table, and I explained him what I think about it. So he was satisfied with that. So here the SQL part was finished and the essay part was finished. After that, he asked me about explain me about software development life cycle. So I explained him about software development life cycle. He asked me explain normalization. Okay, so I explained him normalization, and since then he saw my resume. Okay, in my resume I had mentioned as a backend developer intern. So he said, okay, write a API for logging in. So I asked, sir, I have it's been more than a month for my internship. So no, I didn't say that. I said, sir, can you please allow me some time to think? So he said, okay, take your time. So I took 4 to 5 minutes, like 2 3 minutes to be precise, and then after thinking about 2 3 minutes, I wrote the endpoints because it was more than 2 months since I haven't touched the backend. So it took me some time, but somehow I was able to write the login in endpoint. So please go through your resume. They see everything in your resume. So for example, one student had mentioned in his resume Oracle as his skill, and the interviewer was from an Oracle expert. So he said, let's get one to one. Means he thought, and the student didn't know anything about Oracle. So his interview only lasted for 10 minutes, while my interview lasted for around 30 minutes. Okay. So please only mention those things in your resume which you know. If you don't know anything in your resume, remove it, because the copy of resume you will take to the interviewer, he will ask questions from them. So it's a piece of advice for you. So I wrote the API for logging in. Then he asked me explain about the OOPS concepts. Okay, so I explained him all the four pillars of OOPS. Some cross questions he asked, so I answered all of them. Then coming back to my resume, he asked how you implement many to many relations. So I said, okay, sir, using the junction table, I we implement many to many relations. He also asked about primary key, foreign key. Okay, so the interview mostly revolved around my resume. Okay, so I think for most of them, the interview will mostly revolve around resume, plus also about oops, definitely. They will ask DSA questions also. I was lucky, I was asked only one DSA question. But from many of them, they were asking two DSA questions and two, three SQL queries also. For example, they can also ask write the nth highest salary, okay, and like that. And they also, I also asked discussed about the interview experience of others. So they said for their interview experience, to some student they had asked dense rank also, and also quick sort and merge sort also they were asking. Okay, some interview panelists were also asking about sorting techniques like quick sort and merge sort. And also to many of the students, they were asking to implement Ludo game. 1 to 6 there will be a random number, but you don't have to use any inbuilt library. Okay, got it my point? You have to like for if 6 comes then play again, if 1 2 3 4 5 comes then move that. So like that you have to implement there. This was the question that was repeated many times. Okay, so I was asking interview questions to my fellow candidates who were coming after giving the interview. So I had just quickly searched how can I implement that. So I got to know about a solution using the current time. So but luckily they didn't ask that question to me. So be thorough with your resume. Don't mention anything that you don't know in your resume. They will ask from your resume mostly, and they will ask definitely ask questions from your resume. DSA questions will be asked, oops questions will be asked, prepare quick sort, merge sort, they ask there. Okay, and also oops is very much important. Operating no, DBMS they ask more. Some questions of operating systems also they ask. I didn't see many of computer network questions, so you can revise some of the concepts. So if you prepare your core subjects well, if you are prepared with like DSA concepts and you know SQL, so I think you will be able to good, and it also depends on the interviewer. So that's all I had to share. Hope I was able to help you. So thank you very much.